BNGO is going to zero. My puts are printing. Let's go. On days like these, you have to zoom out, right? You have to just calm down. You have to zoom out. And like we go to the daily chart, right? What's going on here? Oh, wow. We're up from $4.30 all the way up to $7, almost $8 right now. Wow. Wow. That's pretty incredible, isn't it? That's not bad at all. You know, on days like these, you remind yourself that, hey, it's okay. I bought the dip. I'm in the green. I'm doing okay, right? Your average price, hopefully if you bought the dip, like I know many of you did before, you're doing fine and you've had plenty of opportunities to sell, and you still have an opportunity right now to get out if this community and this investment and this conquest and this journey is not for you. It's not for everybody. It's not easy. It's really hard when you enter a new BNGO position or HODL or add or anything that is not selling shares. You are entering in a war. Short term, it's a war between the market makers and the bears and the shorts and the FUD creating instigators that are those shorts against the retail investor that's just trying to do their part, not only in investing in something that's auspicious, but doing their part, fighting against manipulation to revolutionize healthcare, put the company in a more auspicious position to actually effectuate that. Right now, it's a war. And right now, let me tell you what's going on. The bears and the shorts, they think they got us. They think that a couple red days is going to make everybody forget about the fundamentals and why we're actually invested. They think that the Sapphire versus CMA fish and carrot typing, they think that we're going to forget about the reasons why we actually invested in this in the first place. They think we're going to forget about the data, about the short interest, and about the catalysts that we've gotten yesterday and today. We've got several new things today that are very good. We've got several things to look forward to. We've got great things to go for, guys. We got the Russell 3000 inclusion. We got the 400K in total share exercisability by the new chief commercial officer. Speaking of the chief commercial officer, he was just brought up this week. We just hired him. He's got great experience, and we're going to talk about that specific experience today through a great due diligence post. We're also going to go over some catalysts. We're also going to go over a Sapphire installation and some details there, and a month of genome assembly, right? We're talking about 24 papers and preprints from Bionano in just May. We're also going to talk about the short interest and the price action, and also we're also going to show my plans for what I'm going to do with my portfolio and my BNGO shares heading forward. Starting off with the general knowledge that you have to know. You have to understand this, that there is core CPI data coming out tomorrow. It's going to come at 7:30 Central Time or 8:30 Eastern Time. It will be released 1 hour before the market actually opens. Right when I wake up, I'm going to know, you know, a lot of us are going to know whether it's going to be a good day or a bad day just based on how the futures are looking and how people have reacted to that news. Now, with the whole, you know, the bears are trying to spread FUD, with that kind of idea that I was talking about, that is totally true. And while I believe that fully, you have to understand that if you are going to endure and pursue this freaking quest and this goal of not only screwing the manipulators, not only freaking leveling the playing field, not only putting a company in a more auspicious position to revolutionize healthcare, but also invest in something that's going to change the freaking world and increase everybody's life expectancy and increase and improve the average quality of life in the aggregate, right? Also, obviously, number 5, the biggest reason to make money fundamentally, because it's fundamentally undervalued, right? We're fundamentally undervalued, but we're better fundamentally from a revenue, from a product standpoint now more than ever before. We're better now than we've ever been, more undervalued now than we've ever been from the fundamental standpoint. There's no doubt in my mind. Now, we can do a rant all day about that stuff, but I want to get specifics here. A lot of people bought in FOMO. I mean, a lot of people did not buy the dip on May 13th. A lot of people were making fun of us for buying on the dip. Now, everyone loved the stock right here, right? You had that peak of that greed. Now, you're getting that fear. That fear is rampant right now. You can smell it, man. It's everywhere. Fear is all over the place, and you saw that with the market sell-off towards the end of the day, right? You had a classic sour hour, okay? If we maximize the global chart here, I mean, that's exactly what you saw. And I also want to bring to your attention, right, just heading into kind of the broad, and you make sure you use the timestamps and the YouTube chat to skip to whatever information you need most. But if you look at the high growth sector here, okay, everything's down, all right? Bionano, BlackBerry, I mean, this is Bionano right here, right? This is Bionano right here. BlackBerry, AMC 10%, SENS 10%, Microvision, Nanodimension, those are the two that we always move close with. They're getting killed as well. Today was not something that was exclusive to Bionano, and I also want to talk about the concern about 1 step forward, 5 steps back, okay? It doesn't take a genius to figure out that, oh, Right now, we're like almost, what are we, 80%, 90% higher from 430 from May 13th. Oh, wow, that's a nice reversal. Wow. Yeah, it is. It's a very nice reversal, and we are still in bullish territory macroscopically. Now, we could go over all the indicators that in the world, and I can prove this to you, and we do on the stream all the time, but I'm just going to tell you that we are in bullish territory still. With that being said, we're going to do the technical analysis soon, but right now, I actually want to go over the events first. Today, we are doing the European Association for Cancer Research, right? June 9th is today to June 12th. Basically, that is going on right now, the EACR 2021 thing, right? So that's good. You know, more presentations, more consortiums, symposiums, conferences, publications, papers, right? This is good. We want to see more academic praise in the scientific world, the genomic world for Bionano. So this is great to see. Okay, obviously it's not huge, but it's something to know. Obviously, we also have a ton of other stuff, right? June 12th to June 15th, European Society of Human Genetics. August 1st to 4th. Okay, boom, boom, boom. There's 1,000 things already scheduled for the rest of the year, and most of them have not even happened. Most of them have not even scheduled yet, right? So that's number one. Well, I guess that's number one, right? Number two thing that I wanted to go over is the installation in Greece, right? So in Athens, the first Sapphire is installed, right? Training completed. Do you see those beautiful molecules being imaged? Heck yeah. Welcome this Science Labs team to our user family. $450 to $550 per genome that they analyze and map with the Sapphire, man. That is revenue coming in consistently, going to boost that revenue and that earnings per share and push us to profitability by 2023 or sooner, in my opinion. Anything can happen, but 2023 is very likely, in my opinion. Also, we had this article come out today, right? So a month of genome assembly publications. So we had 24 papers and preprints describing the use of OGM to build or analyze genomes. Right? It's great to see, and we can go over the details here. The VGP product. This was actually a really cool one, and we already did a video on that a while ago. Probably not anyone really remembers that, but basically, it's great to see that they're doing so many good things to get that marketing, get the marketing, and get the word and exposure and publicity. And we want to increase all that stuff. We want to keep doing that. We don't want people to forget about Sapphire. We want people to know. We want more people to know about Sapphire and OGM, obviously. And the fact that they're doing 24 papers this month or last month, May, right? Exactly what you want to see. It's what you want to see. The sign of a company expansion, man. You got new hires. You got continued marketing. You got 5 large clinical studies. You got a new product, new nanonozzle conformation, essentially. Sapphire 2.0 prototype is coming in soon, reducing the cost from 500 per genome roughly to 100 per genome, right? I mean, there are innovations that have not even been released yet, right? Confirmed by the CEO, okay? We don't even know what they have in the works. It's great to see that they're still marketing and trying to get the word out on their revolutionary technology. Also, we never talk about this, but OGM and the Sapphire, it's not only used for human genomes, it's also used to map the genomes of tomato, eggplant, cereals, okay, yada yada, animals, plants, you name it, man, you name it. It is great for many different things, many different markets, and it has applications, obviously, according to the CEO, quote, that have not even been developed. Jason Priar, right, the Chief Commercial Officer, this guy, we just got him, right, so his experience. So he's got leadership positions at several big-name companies, right, scaling businesses from early stage to hundreds of millions in revenue. This is his experience. Understanding of how to penetrate clinical and research market, including genetic disease and cancer, right? Highlights. He grew this company's revenue from $8 million to $225 million. That sounds similar? Okay, right now we're like $8 million in the hole right now. For last year, we're similar to that. Growing to over $225 million. I think he might have a clue about how to do that, right? I think you might have a clue. It's great to see that we are getting more staff and expanding our business and getting that right personnel in order to put us in the most auspicious position possible to not only revolutionize healthcare, but make the shareholders a lot of money along the way. And of course, there's risk, but please make your own decision. Anyway, obtained coverage and maximize reimbursement for testing, right? Insurance reimbursement for stuff. We can talk about that in another time, but that's good to see. And then launched this company's commercial business. That's the guy that we just got this week, right? That's the new Chief Commercial Officer. And I also just wanted to throw this, and this isn't new, but I just wanted to say that the Al Kachabi, our CMO, our Chief Medical Officer, right? FDA laboratory developed tests, submissions for COVID-19 assays. She has a lot of experience in the FDA approval realm. We know, okay, look, Central and the FDA clearance for the first IVD whole genome microarray cytoscan from this company right here. I mean, she knows what she's doing when it comes to FDA approval. She knows how to get it done. If we were to get FDA approval and set ourselves apart in the diagnostic, prognosis, and treatment territory and realm, you know, it could set us apart in that way from PacBio and all these other genetic companies that have no FDA approval that everyone just conveniently doesn't, you know, everyone conveniently neglects, right, in their articles where they say, oh, Sapphire doesn't have FDA approval, it's going to be a headwind. You know, none of the competition has it either, right? So that's something something that you like to see as well. We just got her pretty recently. It's been a couple months, but we got her recently. Okay, this is not like she's been with us for as long as freaking Eric has. Okay, and the meat and potatoes, the actual thing that gets me fired up. We got the short interest today, right? It is literally up 1.3%. Now, you may notice something here. The borrowed shares is looking pretty high. The cost to borrow average is not extremely high, right? 2%. You know, cost to borrow, you borrow in shares, you know, 2.17%. That's not insane, but if you take a look right here, right, 15.25% of the free float has been sold short, not yet covered. 42.07 million of the short interest. That's the estimated short interest, right? So basically, if you take all of this stuff together, and you extrapolate, what you come to mind with, right? At least this is what the shorts think they can take this and move it way to $5, $6, $4.30, $3. I'm serious. They have not shown any hesitation in doubling down ever throughout this entire since this entire run-up, since 4:30 to now. Not at all. They don't have any fear of the retail investors because they know, whether it's through paying off the Wall Street Bet mods or whether it's through the naked shorting or, you know, whatever it is, take your pick. They think that the retail investors of Bionano have no chance of actually holding long enough to get a squeeze. They don't believe in it at all, and obviously they've been right so far. And obviously, gamma squeeze, short squeeze, we've talked about this several times. They are still on the horizon, and we've gone over that in yesterday's video a lot more in depth than we are going to today, just because I think I think that's a little bit repetitive, but I have a Reddit post on that if you want to see more on that. They are still on the table, and it's not off the table that we get a short squeeze. It's really not. But the fact that this is, right, the short interest increased today, yet we went down, okay? The fact that they think they could, the only reason they're not covering is because they think it's going to go lower, essentially. I mean, that's the only explanation to the short interest, not only not decreasing by a lot, but increasing by a lot. I mean, 1.3% short interest change, that's a big amount. Okay, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of shares being sold short that were not previously lent out, okay? It's a big change. This is a part of the actual selling pressure today, along with the buy side imbalance and along with several other things. Taking a look at FinTel real quick, the settlement date for the 28th of May. The publication date was today. That just came in, and the short interest was 38 million, and it was basically 1% increase of the float, which they do have the numbers wrong here, but basically this is more like 15%. More like, well, right now it has, if Ortex is right, it's about 15% of the shares outstanding right now, but this is, and the only reason why this is not higher, I mean, it is higher, right? It is an increase of 2 million, but this settlement day is only the 28th of May, right? You have to consider that, you know, we are, this is from right now. Wednesday is today. Current short interest 42 million. This is 38 million, but its settlement day is 28th of May. So that's why it's so off. But also taking a look at FinTel, right? Put to call ratio is still very low, right? So that just basically means from the institution standpoint, they're still holding those calls way more than puts, still bullish, right? That's obviously a bullish sign that you like to see. If we go up here, the borrow fee rate has decreased. That's actually kind of not what you want to see, but there's a lot of things that can go into that. And then if we look at the short share availability, this is a stark contrast from the Ortex data, right? The short share availability has gone way higher. It's 2 million shares now. It's like, wait, what? And of course, the short share availability, this could increase because there's more synthetic shares and fake shares able to be shorted, or it could be because shorts are covering, right? But I don't think it's shorts covering because if Ortex is at all right, okay, the short interest is only increased today. The borrowed shares is increased. The estimated short interest increased. Of the free float increase, right? It's the same statistic metric, basically, just in other words. They're increasing the shorts. The shorts are increasing their position. This would indicate that they are maybe not. But obviously, the only thing that could explain this is that, well, the short share availability, not the only, you know, it's not like the only factor of determining the short shares available to lend out from the brokers is how many shorts have covered, right? Maybe it's the fact that they're clearing shares, you know, they're They got to fix some things. There's mistakes. Maybe it's more people turning their stock lending program on. Maybe, you know, whatever it is. Okay, take your pick. There's 1,000 things probably. To just sum up what could happen, bull case with the short squeeze and with the short interest increasing today and with the new data that we have today, if people were to hodl, if this core CPI data is not bad tomorrow, if high growth rebounds, if Bionano investors stop shitting themselves, I think $10 end of week, certainly possible. Certainly possible. I think it's likely. Honestly, I think $12 end of week is possible if Wall Street Bets would actually just let us post and not censor everything that has BNGO on it. From the technical standpoint, I really don't want to talk too much about the technicals today, but I'll just say a couple things. I'll just say the most important stuff, right? Head and shoulders pattern potentially, but it's not that validated, right? Shoulder, head, other shoulder. But here's the thing. It's like, well, where's the dip here? Where's the neckline? The neckline's supposed to be here. You don't touch it. It's weird, but I mean, it is breaking down, so I guess it kind of did turn out to be one. But anyways, the most important, that's a potential. I like to call it both ways, right? When there's bullish and bearish stuff. The most bearish chart, the most bearish thing today, this is potentially bearish. This isn't necessarily bearish, but it maybe is. Okay, we are below the 21 SMA on the 4-hourly chart. And if we look at BB, this is a great example, right? I traded this. Y'all know I traded this. It had 3 4-hourly candle closes below the 21 SMA, and then it roared back. Okay? Typically, this level does not get broken so easily. Today, it did, mostly because of FUD. I mean, obviously, this core CPI data is going to be what determines this, but here's the thing, guys. It's not necessarily a confirmed breakdown because we got 1 4-hourly close below. It's really not. Okay, well, you just saw with BB. I traded this the other day. I entered at 14, and it was bad short term. We saw 13, but guess what? The moving averages are not like a super clear level of support. It's not like, okay, we're coming down and then boom. No, sometimes it's like this, right? You come down, you go up and down, confirm false breakdowns, and then boom, and then you finally bounce off and get the confirm the level of support as real support and actually get and move higher highs, higher lows. That's sometimes it takes a little bit. That could be what we're seeing with Bionano. There's so many indicators, and one indicator that I will also talk about is the SAR on the weekly, which is extremely bearish. I mean, and you know what? Not extremely bearish, but it is. We got rejected as a stop and reverse indicator perfectly on the weekly. Also, I want to show you the 4-hourly SAR that we just got the bearish flip on, which sucks. I mean, that's the start of a reversal sign to being bearish, right? Literally, once you get the red flips there, that's a sell signal, right? I said that when we were live. I said, okay, if that holds, that's a sell signal. Now, of course, did I sell? Am I telling anyone to sell? No, it's your guys' decision, not mine. But that is one sell signal out of many indicators that we have to look at, right? If we look at the 4-hourly Supertrend, you're still bullish, right? As long as you hold above 750, bullish territory 100%. So it's like, you know, I don't know. What should you do? You got to look at multiple indicators. You got to look at the fundamentals. If you look at the daily, you are in as bullish territory as it gets. I mean, come on. It doesn't get any simpler than that, right? If you look at the RSI on the daily, very nice cool down. Okay, 63. We've got room to go now. We've had our cool down. I don't know if we're going to go higher. Okay, I'm just trying to give you as many indicators as I can, try to make you as informed as possible. The weekly chart pattern the weekly candlestick looks absolutely horrible. Inverse hammer, pretty much, which is extremely bearish. But we also have 3 white shoulders. We also have a reversal, right? So it's like, well, you know, weekly stochastic indicators, bias signal, you know, it's too early to start drawing conclusions about the candlestick here, but that is a potential bearish candlestick pattern that we'll be watching with the weekly close. Also, the weekly 21 SMA, we obviously got rejected there. I mean, we got rejected at 822-ish. You know, we tried to confirm the breakout, but we just didn't. It just didn't happen. So I would love to see if we could actually do something and, you know, close above that and confirm the breakout this week or this month at least, and that would be nice to see. But you know, for now, the price action just has not really cared about the 21 SMA on the weekly. It has been a good indication for bullish or bearish territory, though. That's right? What I will say. There's 1,000 more indicators. There's more news. There's a China Sapphire adoption like a few days ago this week. There's this whole due diligence that we can go over. There's technical analysis. There's a ton of stuff that we can go over, right? The CCO news. We can get more in depth in that. Case Sapphire, fundamentals, we can get more in depth with all this stuff. But anyways, for today, I got to leave you with that. Thank y'all so much. This is not financial advice. I will see y'all in the next one.